Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. The morning is a wonderful time to give thanks, to pray, to meditate, to allow your universe to expand through beautiful thoughts and feelings. In the morning, most people will grab their phone and look at their calendar and hit the ground running. I used to do that, and I found my life filled with stress and anxiety. Now I take my phone and I listen to a meditation or a beautiful podcast, not anything to get my mind into a state of busyness, but allowing it to relax, to think beautiful thoughts, to connect to divine spiritual energy. You might read a Bible passage or pray or meditate. It's been said that when you pray, you're talking to God, and most people talk to God incessantly and ask Him for all kinds of things. When you meditate, you're quiet. You're quieting your body, your mind, and allowing God's voice to speak to you. And if you're not sure what God is, or you've had some unfortunate experiences with that word, then use the word divine source, ultimate love, infinite love, the creator, and listen for directions. Bob Proctor was my mentor, and he suggested the first thing, write down 10 things that you are truly grateful for. Now, that might take some practice. That might take convincing yourself that, yes, you have time. Yes, there are 10 things you can be grateful for. But if you're in the space that it really doesn't seem possible, then just think of 3 things that you can be truly grateful for. That you're still alive, that you have a second chance, that you have running water and a place to sleep, you have clothes on your back and food in the cupboard, or the ability to source all of that out for yourself. Most of us are more richly blessed than we even recognize. We live in a world of abundance. When you connect your mind to abundance, you see more abundance. That takes practice, because most of the time we're on high alert looking for problems, looking for what's wrong, looking for what else is there. Spend some time truly giving thanks for what you already are, what you already have, who you have become, and allow the rest of your life to unfold, not force. I'm going to read a few thoughts from James Allen in his little book, As a Man Thinketh. And I quote, "Let your heart grow and expand with ever-broadening love until, freed from all hatred and passion and condemnation, it embraces the whole universe with thoughtful tenderness. As the flower opens its petals to receive the morning light, so open your soul more and more to the glorious light of truth. Soar upward on the wings of aspiration. Be fearless and believe in the loftiest possibilities. Do you know there are infinite possibilities and you have infinite potential? We live in a world of pure potentiality. One of the ways to practice the law of pure potentiality is through the practice of silence and meditation. This means tuning out the world and taking time to simply be. There's a passage in the Bible that says, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness is the first requirement for manifesting your desires. Whatever it is you want, whatever is in your heart that you believe will make you happier. In stillness, you can connect with the field of pure awareness and infinite organizing power. Think of a time where you threw a rock in a lake or even a little pebble into a still pond and you watched it ripple out. That's what you do when you go into silence and think about what you desire. Make it an intention. Even the faintest intention ripples across the field of universal consciousness and connects your desire with everything else. We are all connected through an invisible matrix, and your thoughts are invisible, but they are powerful energy that goes out and connects with other thoughts in harmony with what you're thinking, with ideas that you have in your conscious mind, but with the feeling, the vibrational energy of love or the opposite. The field can orchestrate an infinity of details for you. But if your mind is like a turbulent ocean, you could throw the biggest building in the world into it and you wouldn't even notice a ripple. You have to calm your mind. When you're constantly judging things as good or bad, right or wrong, you create turbulence in your internal dialogue. And this turbulence constricts the flow of energy between you and the field of pure potentiality. Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. In the silent space between your thoughts is a state of pure awareness, an inner stillness that connects you to true power. Not your own powerful will, but infinite power. You can practice non-judgment by silencing your mind and accessing your inner stillness. That's where your inner guidance system lies. James Allen said, mind clothes itself in garments of its own making. Mind is the arbiter of life. It is the creator and shaper of conditions and the recipient of its own results. It contains within itself both the power to create illusion and to perceive reality. Mind is the infallible weaver of destiny, Thought is the thread. Good and evil deeds are the warp and woof, and the web woven upon the loom of life is character. Make pure thy heart, and thou wilt make thy life rich, sweet, and beautiful, unmarred by strife. You know, it doesn't really matter what's going on around you or what people think. It's what you think that matters. Are you thinking thoughts of good and beauty, of what you desire? And that leads you to feeling peaceful and calm and knowing that you're on the path to what you truly desire and that everything is always working out for you. Everything is always working out for you. There are some times where you feel that life is unfair, that it's hard, that it's a struggle, and you can't seem to see the light. Those are the periods of time where you must take time in stillness to give it up to God, to divine source, to ask for guidance. When Bob Proctor said, every day you write down 10 things that you are truly grateful for, when you get into that practice, that you can truly write down, I am so happy and grateful, and know that you could write pages of what's good in your life. But once you get beyond 3 things, if you can get to 10, you're truly grateful for your body, for the experiences in your life that strengthened you. Just like going to the gym, you have to build your muscles. You have to build the strength to receive the good that you desire, to become the person that has the ideal that you wish for. And because you have a picture in your mind and a desire in your heart, those are meant for you. It's when we don't believe it, when we fight against it, when we can't see it physically, that we start to worry and doubt. Redirect your thoughts to gratitude. What are you thankful for? And then in silence, in quiet meditation for 5 minutes, and ask for guidance for the day. Any struggles that you have, you can give them up to universal power, and you can ask, what would you have me do today? Where would you have me go? When you practice this long enough, often enough, you do receive answers. Whether you say it's coming from your gut instinct or your intuition or divine intervention or God whispering to you or source energy, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. You will receive the answer. Follow that guidance like your inner GPS. It will always lead you to the truth, always lead you toward what you desire. Another reading from James Allen is, the true silence is not merely a silent tongue, it is a silent mind. To merely hold one's tongue and yet to carry about a disturbed and rankling mind is no remedy for weakness and no source of power. Silentness, to be powerful, must envelop the whole mind, must permeate every chamber of the heart. It must be the silence of peace. To this broad, deep, abiding silentness, a man attains only in the measure that he conquers himself. By curbing his tongue, a man gains possession of his mind. The fool babbles, gossips, argues, and bandies words. He glorifies in the fact that he has had the last word and has silenced his opponent. He exults in his own folly, is ever on the defensive, and wastes his energies in unprofitable channels. He is like a gardener who continues to dig and plant in unproductive soil. The wise man avoids idle words, gossip, vain arguments, and self-defense. He is content to appear defeated, rejoices when he is defeated, knowing that having found and removed another error in himself, he has thereby become wiser. Blessed is he who does not strive for the last word. And desire is the craving for possession. Aspiration is the hunger of the heart for peace. The craving for things leads even farther and farther away from peace, and not only ends in deprivation, but it is in itself a state of perpetual want. You don't want to be in the state of always wanting, but feeling that it's already yours. Knowing that it's coming. Because when you say, I want to be happy, you'll always want. If you just be happy, everything in your world changes. You notice things even when things around you are in turmoil and turbulence, even when the economy is crashing or people around you are complaining. You don't have to get into the low level energy of anger and resentment and anxiety. You can be calm, you can be at peace, you can have a happy heart, even in times of trials and struggles. James Allen said, the craving for things leads ever further away from peace, and not only ends in deprivation, but is in itself a state of perpetual want. We all want things, we all want more, and that's part of being part of the universe. The universe is always for expansion and fuller expression. But when you feel what it would be like to be in the state of happiness, in the state of peace, in the state of calm, in the state of well-being, your body follows your mind. It becomes more calm. It becomes more able to think clearly. When you're in the state of being happy, you don't worry about the bills. You don't worry about what's going on outside of what's just enjoying life. James Allen says the hunger for things can never be satisfied, but the hunger for peace can, and the satisfaction of peace is found, is fully possessed when all selfish desire is abandoned. Then there is fullness of joy, abounding plenty, and rich and complete blessedness. Be still, my soul, and know that peace is thine. Be steadfast, heart, and know that strength divine belongs to thee. Cease from thy turmoil, mind, and thou the everlasting rest shall find. If a man would have peace, let him exercise the spirit of peace. If he would find love, let him dwell in the spirit of love. If he would escape suffering, let him cease to inflict it. If he would do noble things for humanity, let him cease to do ignoble things for himself. If he will but quarry the mine of his own soul, he shall find there all the materials for building whatsoever he will, and he shall find there is also the central rock on which to build in safety. Meditation centered upon divine realities is the very essence and soul of prayer. It is the silent reaching upward of the soul toward the eternal. Meditation is the intense dwelling in thought upon an idea or theme with the object of thoroughly comprehending it. And whatsoever you constantly meditate upon, you will not only come to understand, but will grow more and more into its likeness, for it will become incorporated with your very being, will become, in fact, your very self. James Allen says, if therefore you constantly dwell upon that which is selfish and debasing, you will ultimately become selfish and debasing. If you think ceaselessly upon that which is pure and unselfish, you will surely become pure and unselfish. There is no difficulty, however great, but will yield before a calm and powerful concentration of thought, and no legitimate object but may be speedily actualized by the intelligent use and direction of one's soul forces. Whatever your task may be, concentrate your whole mind upon it. Throw into it all the energy of which you are capable. The faultless completion of small tasks leads inevitably to larger tasks. See to it that you rise by steady climbing, and you will never fall. Think upon how you want to live your life. Peaceful, loving, in well-being. As a man thinketh, James Allen says, sweet is the rest and deep the bliss of him who has freed his heart from its lusts and hatreds and dark desires, and he who, without any shadow of bitterness resting upon him, and looking out upon the world with boundless compassion and love, can breathe in his inmost heart the blessing, peace unto all living things. Making no exceptions or distinctions, such a man has reached that happy ending which can never be taken away, for this is the perfection of life, the fullness of peace, the consummation of perfect blessedness. I love to go back to the chapter on serenity. Calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It is the result of long and patient effort in self-control. Its presence is an indication of ripened experience and a more than ordinary knowledge of the laws and operations of thought. Tempest-tossed souls, wherever you may be, under whatsoever conditions you may live, know this. In the ocean of life, the isles of blessedness are smiling, and the sunny shore of your ideal awaits your coming. Keep your hand firmly upon the helm of thought. In the bark of your soul reclines the commanding master. He does but sleep. Wake him. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. Say unto your heart, peace, be still. Our thoughts, our words, our deeds, everything that we put out comes back to us. The world reflects back to us in physical evidence what we've been thinking, what we've been doing, what we've been feeling. Not always instantly. Sometimes there's momentum from years of thinking. Sometimes there is short bursts of noticing joy and abundance. But there is a law of karma, or cause and effect. And karma is both action and the consequences of that action. We've all heard the expression, what you sow is what you reap. If we want to create happiness in our lives, we must learn how to sow the seeds of happiness. That means making a conscious choice. When we choose actions that bring happiness and success to others, the fruits of our karma is happiness and success. In every moment, we have an access to an infinity of choices. Sometimes we make choices consciously, and oftentimes we just do things unconsciously, and our subconscious mind just takes us in a direction, replaying what we already know, what we already learn, what we already have done. Sometimes we don't realize that we've made choices because they're done subconsciously, unconsciously. And as a result of old conditioning, our choices are often triggered by people and circumstances into predictable outcomes. If someone insults you, you might make the choice of being offended. If I paid you a compliment, you would likely make the choice of being flattered. But you could do the opposite. You could make the choice of not being offended when someone insults you. And you could just let a compliment pass by without being flattered. Step back today and witness the choices that you're making in every moment. Are you choosing to be happy? Are you choosing to be angry? Are you choosing to be resentful or peaceful? Today, as you're going through your day, ask yourself, what choices am I making? What are the consequences of this choice? Will the choice I'm making bring happiness to me and those around me? There's always one choice that will create maximum happiness, both for you and those around you. How do you make spontaneous right choices? By paying attention to the sensations of comfort or discomfort in your body. When you ask, what are the consequences of this choice? If your body sends a message of comfort, that's the right choice. If you feel uneasiness in your body as you ask the question, maybe that's not the appropriate choice. Pause and ask yourself, and create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Enjoy your day. See what your conscious choices bring you. And I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.